Hey everybody, this is Clash of Clans Talk with Geno and Sherri, and today we're going to talk about war selection.
So it's been exactly 75 days since Night Train went on their first war. So in celebration of the 75th day, we thought this would be a good topic to talk about.
Yes, definitely, and it's been that long. In video game years, that's like way worse than dog years, I'd say. That's like 75 days is like 100 years of battling on this game.
And a lot of money spent.
Yeah, we right back into that gem talk, right?
Mm-hmm. The first couple of wars were the 10 on 10, where Night Train was trying to figure out how to war, how does it work, what do we need to do?
Yeah, I remember those days. That was, you said 10 on 10s. Those were back when we first started. That was like me, Puck, Irish, Ray.
Yeah, that
Duke,
was before the
Plunder.
Southern team kind of infiltrated Night Train.
Right, that was the Plunder Sun, before the Lost Base. We remember that. And back then, yeah, that was anybody on a team. I mean, essentially, it was any of us, all of us, war. That was really the thing. We had 10 on 10s, and we basically just said, hey, does anybody want a war? And everybody's like, yeah, let's just do it. And then we all kind of decided that we were going to war on Fridays. So it was going to be every Friday, roughly around noon. Usually, I think it was right before me and you go out to lunch, we would go start the war search.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then about 20 days later is when the Southern team joined in with the North for their first war. And that was our first 20 on 20, and that was 5 wars in.
Okay, so we had 5 wars in, 20 on 20. So during those times, we didn't really have a war selection because everybody was kind of just getting to know the game, getting to know each other, things like that. So we didn't really, it was kind of just a mishmash of things. And it was just, we didn't really have too much, you go after this number, you go after this number. It was kind of just everybody attack whatever.
Yeah, basically a free-for-all. And
right. And we all had to learn, and it's funny because even though you're just attacking a base on the other team, you still have to kind of work together on it. So that's part of what we look at now in the war selection, is seeing who can work with who, and not in a negative light. It's really just who's compatible with who.
Well, it's also bases. If you have, everybody has really strong bases and you throw in a couple people with very weak, low level bases, they can't even participate.
Right. So yeah, you're exactly right. So part of that is looking at the levels, who's got Town Hall 8s and who's got Town Hall 5s and this and that. So, so whenever I'd say within the last month or so, we really start putting more thought into selecting wars.
Well, what was happening, at least on the southern side, is some of the people, if they could, they'd war every single day. And they really enjoy it. So we started getting some requests, hey, can we war more often? And that's where the midweeks kind of were born.
Yeah, the midweek. And so, yeah, we got it. We had enough participation, enough people asking. So we kind of started that twice a week warring, and that really started racking up our clan experience points, which got us to a 3. So this is on record that we're at a 3. So maybe when we listen to this a couple of months from now, when we're 5s, getting that awesome perk for donation +1, we'll go back, sit back and laugh. But we had that twice a week, and then we actually had some people asking the war all the time. So that kind of developed into the Monday or the Sunday potluck, we call it, which is essentially just anybody that wants to jump in. And then sometimes we have purpose on Sunday where we select certain people.
Or it's I think the Sunday started too. I know I personally needed some more training. It's really hard when you want to compete and you want to do well with the team, but you're not quite experienced enough to be competitive when you start to get higher like I did. So it was important for some of us, at least in the South, to try to gain some experience without hurting the team overall, the big 20 on 20 war.
Right. Yes. And that leads us right into, so what's our algorithm for war selection?
Yeah.
So usually on the Fridays, we kind of call that the fun Fridays, where we have everybody in, everybody just we just select as many people as we can, throw them in. and just enjoy it. Donate, give everybody dragons, wizards, whatever, and just kind of have fun with it.
Cheer everybody on.
Right. And it's, of course we want to win. That's the main goal of doing it, get the awesome war loot. But
well, with a team that size, it's harder to direct. It's harder to orchestrate the whole thing where, person number 5 knows what number they're going at, because not everybody reads the logs. Not everybody sits on the game the whole time.
Right. Like you and me.
Yeah,
and,
I know. It's a sickness.
I can mention lots of names. So yeah, usually the Fridays, we do have some kind of direction in there. We do try to at least get the lower half done. So that way, if the lower half is complete, we can kind of focus on the upper half and hit our numbers. So that, yeah, like I said, the Friday's kind of the fun one. That's just the free for all. And Plunderton, you mentioned about getting to 30 on 30. We'll get there. I think we all have enough double accounts now to get to a 30 on 30, for God's sake.
Might only be 15 people, but there'll be 30 participants.
So now the midweek war has kind of become the war that's been the most orchestrated and kind of the one that is the most precision. And it's easier, and it's easy to say that. It's easy to use words like precision because we only have 10 people. So normally when we pick people for the midweek, it's or maybe you're on vacation or something. Maybe you want to get in the midweek. So if you ask, you're in. If the other thing is depending on what's going on, I mean, we'll select we'll try to go after something where we're going to have mostly dragon rushers. So now you're talking Jimmy Wan and some of those types. Yeah. And we do that sometimes. So we say, okay, we know that these 3 guys are going to be key dragon rushers. So they'll be able to take out maybe 6 bases. Plus they're only level 7, so we can balance it this way. Then we can also mix in some Town Hall 6s to maybe play the 8, 9, and 10 spots and give them a chance. And then if not, we can clean it up. So we do have a thought process behind it.
Well, we also look at War Stars too. It's not a lot of fun when you're a lower and everybody's getting loot and high-fiving each other, and the number 10 person's just sitting there going, great, I didn't get anything.
Right.
So, being able to do a smaller group, if there's a town hall sitting by itself, we can orchestrate it so somebody on the 10 can go hit a 2, get a star, get some loot, be happy. Right.
Rach ended up getting like 100,000.
Yeah, she got all kinds
of war. Everybody was laughing because, I guess whoever still had some attacks remaining, we knew we had won on that one war. And people were just hitting that number 2 that had his town hall.
Yeah,
on the corner.
Everybody was walking away with some serious dark elixir too on that one. That was nice.
Right. But yeah, we, like I said, we do put thought into it, and we definitely, especially for the Wednesday, that's kind of like the one where we want to grab those stars and get that win. And it's easy to kind of just put it together and kind of run it.
Yeah, that's the one with the most communication too. Usually the people in the Wednesday war is the ones that sit on it and act like we do, so it's a lot easier to communicate with everybody and say, okay, you hit this one, you hit this one.
Right. And it's also 10 on 10.
Right. Well, that's what makes it easy.
And then the potlucks. So usually for those, we just see who wants to do it on Sunday, who just wants to rock and roll and hit that war on Sunday. Usually it's just whoever. Recently we had split it up into 2 different teams. I wanted to talk about that real quick. So we had the Saturday war and the Monday war. And really, we wanted to see if we had all high-level people in one war and the mid to lower-level people in the other war, how would the computer or how would Supercell match us up with clans? And we actually found that the high-level guys actually got hit with a really, really tough clan, and the low-level guys, well, they got lucky because they didn't, their guys didn't attack, but they had
show up.
They had a pretty matched up clan, which was interesting. We wanted to see how that would work. But a lot of people just said, hey, let's just all war together on Friday. And I didn't want to really try to change that or interject our weird ways into the Friday War, because we're kind of all together and it's fun to war together. So, we in the Sunday potluck is we always kind of just call it optional. If we don't get enough support or whatever, if enough people can't do it, we just kind of pass on it.
Yeah,
and give
we
everybody
skipped
a break.
one a couple weeks ago. I think a couple people were on vacation.
Yeah,
and we just didn't have enough people that
nice
were
to have
interested.
a break sometimes too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I probably spent on average like 5, 6, 700,000 each war of elixir.
Yeah, giving everybody dragons and what they're.
Well,
whatever.
everybody's up there now, so it's nice because Puck really donates a lot. Irish, I think Farillo, all those guys, Mumble, have really been donating, like really heavily donating, which is very nice. So I can't wait till all you guys are Town Hall 9.
Yeah, but see, the problem is, as soon as we hit 9, you're already working on level 4 dragons. Nobody's going to want my level 3s when you have a level 4. I mean, come on now.
Level 4 dragons will be delicious, but that's for another day.
If anybody wants to war more often, let us know.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, one of the guys that was Plunderson, I think, was like, okay, I want to get in on more of these. Or if you don't want to war for a while, you want to upgrade your bases and you're just kind of whatever, either sick of it or you want to save up, just either change your name red or just hit Geno up and let him know.
Definitely use the red. If I'm going to start a war and I see the reds, I usually just skip it because it takes kind of too long to try to figure out who's going to be in or who isn't. So yeah, use the red, the little red clicky thing, whatever you call it.
The red clicky thing. It's called the opt out.
The opt out. Thank you. And
the way to get there is just you hit on the top where the eye is and it shows my profile. You click on Clan Wars and you just hit I'm in or I'm out.
Well, there you go. And that's the conclusion of this particular podcast. And we will get to the next one, which is going to talk about attacks and things like that.
And we got a war to go win starting pretty soon.
All right. Good luck, Night Train. Take care, guys. Bye.
Bye.